Your dog has been reaching out to you every single day. Not with a bark, not with a jump, not with a nudge of their nose. With their paw, placed quietly, deliberately on your hand, your knee, your arm, your chest. And you probably smiled, gave them a quick pat, and moved on. But that paw was not random. It was not a habit. It was not your dog being cute or demanding or bored. It was a message, a specific, emotionally loaded, biologically driven message that your dog has been trying to deliver to you, possibly for years, and most owners never fully receive it. Once you understand what your dog is actually saying when they put their paw on you, you will never brush it off the same way again. You will stop what you are doing, you will listen, and you will feel something shift in the way you understand the animal who has chosen to share their life with you. Most owners get this completely wrong, and the cost of that misunderstanding is quiet, invisible, and real. Stay until the end, because the last message behind the paw is the one that will stay with you forever. Point 1. I need you right now. Have you ever been sitting quietly, reading, watching television, lost in your own thoughts, and felt a paw land softly on your knee? No barking, no whining, no dramatic display of any kind, just a paw placed gently on you, and then a pair of eyes looking up, waiting. Most owners instinctively read this as their dog wanting attention, wanting to play, wanting a treat, and they either respond or they gently push the paw away and go back to what they were doing. This is where almost everyone gets it wrong. What your dog is doing in that moment is not making a demand. They are making a connection bid. Research in canine communication and attachment behavior has shown that when dogs initiate physical contact with their primary owner, particularly through deliberate paw placement, they are engaging in a behavior rooted in deep social bonding instinct. In canine social groups, physical touch is one of the primary ways trust and closeness are maintained. A paw placed on another being is an invitation, a reaching out, a gentle knock on the door of your attention. In your dog's emotional world, this gesture says something very specific. It says, "I am here. Are you?" It is your dog checking the status of the bond, making sure the connection is still alive and warm, making sure you have not drifted too far away in whatever world exists behind your eyes.
Point 2. I can feel that something is wrong with you. Think about a hard day, a day when the weight of something followed you home and sat with you in the quiet of your house. Did your dog come to you? Did they place a paw on you, maybe more deliberately than usual, maybe pressing slightly more firmly, maybe resting it on you and leaving it there longer than normal? Most owners notice this, but chalk it up to coincidence. Their dog happened to want attention at the same time they were struggling. Sweet timing, nothing more. It is not a coincidence, not even close. Studies in canine emotional perception and empathy behavior have documented that dogs are exquisitely sensitive to changes in their owner's physiological and emotional state. They detect shifts in cortisol through scent. They read micro changes in posture, breathing rate, facial tension, and movement patterns. They know, before you have said a word to anyone, that something is different, something is heavier, something inside you has changed, and when they know, they come to you and they reach out. From a behavioral science perspective, this deliberate paw placement in moments of human distress is classified as comfort-seeking behavior on behalf of the human. Your dog is not seeking comfort, they are offering it. They are doing the only thing within their physical capability to close the emotional distance between you and tell you that you are not alone in what you are carrying.
Point 3. I am trying to say I'm sorry. Have you ever corrected your dog, raised your voice, expressed frustration, communicated clearly that you were not pleased, and then moments later felt a paw placed very softly, very carefully, almost tentatively on your leg? Most owners in that moment either ignore it or interpret it as their dog being manipulative, trying to get out of trouble, playing cute to avoid consequences. This is one of the most painful misunderstandings in the human-dog relationship, and it does real damage when it goes uncorrected. What your dog is doing in that moment is not manipulation, it is appeasement and reconnection. It is the canine equivalent of an outstretched hand after a disagreement. Research in canine conflict resolution and social bonding behavior has shown that dogs, as deeply social pack animals, are neurologically driven to repair ruptures in their most important relationships as quickly as possible.
Point 4. I am asking you to stay. How many times have you stood up to leave, grabbed your keys, put on your shoes, reached for your bag, and felt a paw on your foot, your shin, sometimes both paws on your leg, weight leaning in, eyes looking up with something that can only be described as a quiet plea? Most owners laugh at this. They find it endearing. They say their dog is being dramatic. They give a quick scratch and head out the door. But inside their dog, in that moment, something real and biologically significant is happening. Research in canine separation anxiety and attachment theory has shown that the period immediately before an owner's departure is one of the highest stress windows in a dog's day. Their nervous system detects the pre-departure cues, the sounds, the smells, the behavioral changes, and begins preparing for the emotional impact of separation from their primary attachment figure.
Point 5. I am telling you that you are mine. Have you ever been sitting somewhere completely at peace, a quiet evening, nothing demanding your attention, just you and your dog in the soft comfort of an ordinary moment, and felt a paw placed gently on you and simply left there? Not pressing for something, not anxious, not apologetic, just resting, warm and still and present on your hand or your arm or your leg. This is the paw placement that carries the deepest meaning of all, and it is the one most owners receive without ever fully understanding what has just been given to them. From a canine behavioral perspective, this gesture, relaxed, unprompted, sustained physical contact initiated by the dog in a calm emotional state, is one of the clearest expressions of deep bonding and social claiming available to a dog. It is related to the behavior observed between the most bonded members of canine social groups, where resting in physical contact communicates trust so complete that no alertness is required. The message encoded in that stillness is, I am safe. You are mine. This is where I belong. In your dog's emotional world, placing their paw on you in a moment of peace is an act of ownership, not in a possessive or demanding sense, but in the most tender sense. They are marking you as theirs, not with scent, not with sound, but with touch, with the quiet weight of a paw that says, out of everywhere I could be and everything I could be touching, I choose to be touching you.
Point 6. I am trusting you with everything I have. And now we arrive at the final message. The deepest one, the one that lives beneath all the others. Every time your dog puts their paw on you, in need, in empathy, in apology, in longing, in love, there is one thing that underlies every single gesture: trust. Not the simple trust of knowing you will fill the food bowl. Not the trained trust of a dog who has learned that compliance brings reward, but the profound, biological, irreversible trust of a creature who has looked at you, truly looked at you, with all the perception available to their extraordinary senses, and decided that you are safe, that you are worth reaching toward, that you are the being they will make themselves vulnerable to, over and over without reservation or condition. Research in canine social neuroscience has shown that the act of initiating physical contact requires a dog to suppress their natural self-protective instincts. Touch is vulnerability. Reaching out is exposure. And a dog only does it consistently, freely, and without anxiety toward a human they have classified at the deepest level of their nervous system as completely trustworthy. Every paw your dog has ever placed on you was an act of courage and trust simultaneously.